If you have clicked on this video, it means that at least once in your life, you've also thought that the money on your credit card is your money and you can spend it as much as you want and you will never have to give it back. Well, I've been there, and as someone who used to have constant debt and thought that it was actually normal to live in debt, I can tell you that it's not, and I can help you fix this. And the first step we're going to take today is financial audit. I think it's similar to what this fun guy Caleb does on YouTube, but if you're not ready to be publicly humiliated on someone else's YouTube, I'm going to help you do it all by yourself. So please open your notebook, take notes, and let's go. I have my notes right here, and we're going to audit your finances in 5 simple steps. Step number 1, you need to pick your audit container, which means just a simple notebook page or maybe Google Doc, Notion, or any financial app, which honestly, I just recommend starting with a notebook because to me, trying to navigate my debt and 100,000 apps on the App Store was really overwhelming. So just take a notebook. And this is step 1. We're done with it. We just have 4 steps left. Step number 2, you need to create the following categories. You might want to come up with your own, but here's what I did. First one is all money on all your checkings accounts, because you might have multiple cards. Then all money that's sitting in your savings accounts and maybe your investment account if you are doing any investment at all. And the last category will be your debt. So what you're going to do is you're going to open every single app, and if you want, you can take a screenshot and put it next to the date of what you have right now. And then you need to add all of your assets and then add all of your debt and kind of see if you're in the negative or in the positive, which maybe you already know, but it's better to have specific numbers. I prefer having a more detailed picture. That's why I always write down every single name of every single bank or card that I have, and I write the amount next to it and then the total amount. It's also kind of nice to see in progression when you estimate it in a month or in a year where you were, because sometimes you were in a better spot and sometimes you were in a worse spot. So it's really nice to keep track of everything that you have. So then you calculate how much money you actually have versus how much money you owe. And we're passing over to step 3, which is a little bit more complicated, but still pretty simple. So in step 3, you're going to calculate all your expenses and money leaks. So here is my system. By expenses, I don't mean all your expenses just yet. I just mean fixed obligations. So you can start with 1 month, even though it's usually not super informative. So I would maybe get the average of at least 2 or better 3 past months and see which expenses are absolutely unavoidable. So usually what we have in this category is food, which I think you should split into groceries and eating out, because groceries are usually unavoidable, but eating out, you can absolutely survive without it. Next is going to be gas or public transport, any kind of loans, your car payment, your mortgage, something that you pay regularly in installments. And then it might also be utilities and insurance. So here you include only the payments that you can absolutely not avoid. And these are your fixed obligations. Now we're going to look at money leaks. So look at every single spending, and the more detailed you are here, the more realistically you will see the picture. Because believe me, for many years, I've been working a lot and I never had enough money. And I was always thinking, like, who is stealing my money? Because I work a lot, I don't spend that much, but I never have money. So where is it all going? And sometimes when you just add everything and you look at it realistically, it is very unpleasant. It actually hurts a lot. And sometimes it's hard to digest, but the sooner you do it, the sooner you will be able to get out of it. So what you do here is you create categories. You look at every single expense on your bank statement and you put it into different category. I just usually do it on the piece of paper. So if you see something like subscription, it goes into subscriptions. If you see candy, it can go into your groceries list, but you can also kind of subcategorize it into like absolutely necessary groceries and sweets, candy, so something that can be reduced. And so every single expense for the past 3 months has to go into some assigned category. Also, like I said before, they shouldn't be super broad. Like if you say entertainment, that's a pretty big concept. So what you can include into your entertainment, it could be movies, bars, Netflix subscriptions. Again, if it's a bar, you can create a separate category for alcohol, and sometimes you'd be surprised at how much money you actually blow while trying to ruin your health. So now we're just looking at this realistic picture. We're not doing anything about it. And I'm going to tell you what you can start doing at the end of this video. And then I'm going to keep talking about ways to improve your financial situations in my next videos. So, and the final thing here is the smallest money leaks, which can be subscriptions. How you can track these things. There is many ways, but at first you can just look at recurring transactions in your banking apps. Some apps actually mark it as a recurring transaction, and you can see whether it's something you truly need or just something you forgot about. Then it can be your Apple ID or Google Play subscriptions, your automatic payments on PayPal, and of course Amazon Prime and any other subscription service. So after you write them all down, you can add all of them and see whether they add up big time or maybe you just don't have any subscriptions. So then we pass over to step 4. For every single debt that you have, you create a little sort of spreadsheet. So the name of the debt, for example, it's your car payment, or if it's your Chase credit card or whatever debt it is. Then the next line will be your balance, your minimum payment, and interest rate or APR. So, and because we are beginner debt handlers, we're not going to go deep into how you can fix your life today because it's overwhelming. So there's a few beginner steps that you can take. And the first is establishing one rule, that you never miss minimum payments in all of these debts, because not only do you accumulate interest, but you also ruin your credit score, and it is really bad. So you need to have all of them in your spreadsheet, the dates of the payments, set timers, reminders on your phone, whatever you need to fix it. So we never miss minimum payments. And the second thing that you're gonna do, beginner-friendly solution, is you pick one focus debt. And the way you can pick it is you either pick the debt with the smallest balance that you can kind of close as fast as you can to get it out of your way. It might not majorly affect your finances, but at least it will ease your mind that you're working on something, and sometimes small steps is what matters most. Or the debt with highest APR, because obviously you're paying a larger percent on what you already spent. So after you picked one focus debt, you direct all your energy and money to this debt and you try to get rid of it. And step number 5 is you pick one habit. And like I said, dealing with your debt, especially years of debt, might be overwhelming. So that's why we need to start small. Here is a few suggestions for a good first habit. First, it can be the amount of money you put on your credit card today should be paid off the same day. And this is my non-negotiable rule right now because I still use credit cards, and the only reason I do it is because I love cashback. And we're gonna get into this in one of my next videos. I love cashback, I love perks, and there is a lot of perks in using credit cards if you use them smartly. So The moment I swipe my credit card, I take a mental note that today in the evening I need to sit down, I need to look at how much money I spent today, and to transfer money from my debit card to my credit card. Because also credit cards create this false sense of, oh, I have all this money. Because psychologically, we care more about what we have today than what's going to happen tomorrow. And the fact that you will have to pay it off tomorrow, like, I'll think about it some other day. No, it doesn't work like that. So that might be your first habit. Or you can just choose another very simple habit. For example, you auto transfer money to savings $10 or $5 a week, every single week. You do it, you see that the amount of money there is growing, even if it's tiny. You give yourself a pat on the back, and you know that you are moving in the right direction. I hope this video was helpful. Please ask your questions, everything related to debt, financial audit, or what you want to hear about in my next video. See you soon. Bye-bye.